Namaste and welcome to this digital exclusive, The Right Perspective on Sanskritam. Many people would say Sanskrit is the mother language, mother of all languages, many languages across the world. But do we often speak it? How many districts, how many schools, rather, even have Sanskrit as a language or a medium of instruction? Just about 115 years ago, it is recorded that somewhere in Karnataka, in Udupi, a teacher went and reported to the Kotwal during the British Raj that my medium of instruction is Sanskrit. I'm teaching the children Vedic scriptures and Vedic mathematics under the largest banyan tree of the village, just 150 years ago. And today, where are we? Today, we are on the cusp of perhaps the first time in Indian cinema, a whole movie in Sanskritam. Dushyanth Sridhar, producer of the movie, Payal Shetty, who said a very, very important role, or perhaps the main role in the movie, is joining us here on this exclusive. Sanskritam. Dushyanth I know you're doing a lot of work on culture and civilization, but to make a whole movie, that's a mammoth effort.
Yeah. First of all, thanks to your channel and thanks, Anand. Yes, Sanskritam as a language has been revered and respected. With respect to Sanskrit cinema, G.V. Iyer was a pioneer. He made quite a few movies and he has received over half a dozen of national awards. And there have been quite a few Sanskrit movies after that, but in the huge sample space of 160,000 plus movies made in Indian cinema, these 10 movies is quite very negligible mathematically. So, yes, we have made this movie as an effort, as a tribute to this language, and we are sure that people across the world will appreciate it at some point.
Hmm. But what is the subject and why did you choose Kalidasa's Shakuntalam?
So, while looking at the Indian cinema canvas, Tamil, Telugu, and of course Hindi, they are huge banner industries. So, Sanskrit is nowhere there. So, when we are taking, I wouldn't say it's a disadvantage. Probably when we look at the pros and cons, yes, Sanskritam as a language may seem like a disadvantage. So, we thought while we are choosing Sanskritam, then we should choose the best of the playwrights who's Kalidasa. So they say Anamika. So if I start counting the best of the playwrights and poets in the Sanskritam language, there are many. But the palm that I use to indicate Kalidasa, I shouldn't be including the other poets and the other fingers, it seems, because he's the Nali Secunda, second to none. So we chose Kalidasa, and amongst Kalidasa's works, which constitutes both poems like Raghuvamsham, Meghadutam, Kumara Sambhavam, and plays like Vikramurvashiyam, Malavikagnimitram, and Abhijnana Shakuntalam is deemed the best. Kavyeshu Natakam Ramyam Tasya Ramya Shakuntala. Amongst the plays, it is Shakuntalam which is
Yeah.
the best. So we had to have the advantage of having the best playwright and the best of his works. So that's why we chose Kalidasa's Shakuntalam.
What was your first reaction, Payal, when they said we wanted to play
Uh,
Shakuntala, but you're going to do it in Sanskrit?
Honestly, Anand, this I consider this project as absolutely stroke of luck. So just imagine as a newcomer to play something which was visualized by Mahakavi Kalidasa ji in 4th and 5th century. So I was, even while, when I was giving my audition, I was super excited that while you are playing Shakuntala, just that feeling of playing Shakuntala, which was visualized by Kalidasa ji, that was super exciting for me. And second, the best part about this project was Dushyant sir coming up with an idea to stick to the original, to stick to the original script. Everything was so authentic, Anand, that we just came together in a very difficult time in lockdown, and without talking to anybody. Like I met nobody, right? It was just a phone conversation, and we believed in each other. That was a very beautiful part, that we all believed in each other without meeting, trusting each other, and just getting on this project. So I feel blessed to just to play, and thank you so much, Vishan sir, for having me on board as your Shakuntala.
And we must
But
thank
did you
Anand
guys
now.
no? But did you guys actually shoot right through COVID, the last 2 years?
Yeah, yeah.
So
The
we began shooting in the month of June this year.
Mm. Mm.
So it was after that April-May phase of the tough
Yeah,
second wave that we
just on
started
the
shooting.
cusp, perhaps towards the wane of the second wave. No? Yeah.
Yeah. So the preparation, the pre-production was on. Most of it was digital, online. So even the measurements, people were in different places. So we had to get the costumes done. So our costume designer, Lakshmi Srinath, deserves a big kudos for that. So a
Yeah.
lot of things happen in the pre-production stage, but the production stage, I had COVID.
I had COVID.
Vishwamitra had COVID. She had COVID. Makeup chief had COVID. So we had to just wait for that phase, the quarantine phase to end, and we were to look into the list who all were surviving. So thank God everybody survived, and we all went and shot. Of course, at one point in time we also thought if we have to wait for the COVID as a pandemic to become an endemic and all of that, that's never going to happen. So we will have to take precautions. We will have to get vaccinated and work with all the precautions. So we had masks every day, some coat, sanitizer, and all of it. But Kalidasa's blessings was with us.
I
Well,
absolutely agree. There were rains, sir. Do you remember the rains on wrong times?
Yeah, very much.
Yeah.
but you also shot at historical locations. But before, yeah, this is something which is very special because I saw, and you had gone to all these architectural landmarks, and you were able to shoot there. Pyle, how was that experience? Did you feel rare?
Sorry, I can't hear you.
I said, how was the experience of shooting at these heritage landmarks at all
Oh,
those
it
places?
was beautiful. It was beautiful. Like, I don't know. I mean, how do I express it? It was, first of all, to know that, this is the place where nobody was allowed to shoot. And me, as my first film, and, I'm shooting in this heritage place and the temples, the beautiful locations, like, and everything was so perfect. Everything was so perfect. So with the blessings and everything was happening on time. So, with the project, I was just going like, oh, today we are in this temple, oh, today we are in that temple, oh, so everything was happening. So with the blessings, work is happening, we're taking blessings, we're taking, we're doing shooting, everything was happening together. So it was just, for me, it was like a blessing to be in every place in the
Well, many of those places are part of my bucket list. इतने सालों में नहीं गया एक पिक्चर में तुम सब देख के आ गए
अरे
पायल. You've
आपको
seen
हिंदी
all of it.
आती है?
क्यों नहीं?
This
तो
is so
तो
good to hear you.
no तो मैं so that's what I was thinking. अरे इधर भी गए हैं, उधर भी गए हैं, उधर भी गए हैं. Well, all this is my bucket list. तो एक पिक्चर में सब देख के आ गए. How did you wing that? I've got to ask you that. This makes it all the more special because this is Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. We're talking about reviving our culture, looking at our cultural ethos, and you're putting out a product
Yeah,
which is
yeah,
100% Indian, done
yeah,
by 100% Indian,
yeah.
and shot across all those locations which showcase our heritage. And
And
you've used multiple
सुंदर,
dance
इतनी
forms
सुंदर
also.
मूर्तियाँ,
Yakshagana, I saw.
इतनी सुंदर, there was shivling, there was, I mean, everything was so, it was like a spiritual journey. You're working on a spiritual journey, like with the Ashirwad, you're working also. And okay, now we are here and nobody's here. Usually when we visit temple, there are, line hote hai or sari cheeze hoti hai, but we are privileged, like we are shooting there and we are, watching the idols and everything. So it was just very, very, very beautiful experience.
It must be very surreal, no? कि एकांत
Yeah.
में दर्शन भी मिल गया, भीड़ भी नहीं है, और शूट भी कर रहे हैं, और जब चाहे आपने दर्शन भी कर लिए. Fantastic. Well, how did you wing that, Dushyanth? And I believe it's a very very stellar group that is working behind the scenes also in trying to put all of it together. Tell us a little more about it.
Yeah, so two aspects. One, with respect to the heritage spots, first of all, on behalf of both my producer friend Srinivas Khanna and I, would like to express our heartfelt gratitude to the Archaeological Survey of India. They have done a fabulous job in maintaining these places, Anand. And last year, I read a bulletin where they said for the 75th year of Indian independence from the colonial rule, we are planning to give such ASI spots for free for 1 year's time till the 15th of August 2021 for movies that relate to culture and heritage. So make hay while the sun shines. So we thought we have to go to the best of the places. So we even chose the Rani Ki Vav in Gujarat. Just that we had our own constraints with respect to the production cost, because taking 60 people there and all that. So I kind of developed this map of showing the transformation of architecture. So we have showcased 6th to 7th century Chalukyan architecture, which is the triangle of Badami, Aihole, Pattadakkal in North Karnataka.
Yeah.
That's when, from the wooden architecture, we see that people started going for rock cut architecture. So the caves of Badami are scooped, like how you scoop the ice cream and take, they've been scooped.
Okay.
So then we transition to Aihole. Aihole happens to be the primary place where we get Mahabharata reference, the year when it was fought.
Yeah.
It's very important for historians. Then we went to Pattadakkal. So these three places of Chalukyan architecture. Then we went to Mahabalipuram, which is a beautiful rock cut architecture in silos. It's not cave. So that's believed to be the world's first granite stage to be made to stage plays. So that was Tiger
Wow.
Caves on the East Coast Road of Chennai, Pallavan architecture. Then we went to Hoysala architecture. Hoysala architecture is made in soapstone and sandstone, very, very minute architecture. So we went to the jewel of Hoysala architecture, which is called Somanathapura. That's of the 13th century. And then we transitioned to the 16th century large mammoth temples of the Vijayanagara architecture at Lepakshi in Andhra Pradesh. So one is with respect to showcase people that, well, you can travel to Thailand, you can travel to Mauritius or Maldives, but have a look at our places as well. So domestic tourism is very important to promote the economy in those places, Anand. So that was one of the reasons. And coming to the stellar, the team that we have the 5-time National Award winning editor B. Lennon with us. He's our editor. We have the 2-time National Award winning audiographer A.S. Lakshmi Narayanan with us. The National
Wow.
Award winning maker chief Pattanam Rashid with us. We have the Sangeet Natak Academy Award winning recipient Rajkumar Bharati, the music director, as well as the great grandson of Subramanya
Oh,
Bharati, the
Bhartiya.
celebrated poet, Bharatiya. And we have Sai Shravanam, the music producer, who was one of the sound recorders for Life of the Pi, the Academy Award winning movie. So it was absolute. And imagine for a Sanskrita movie, probably we would expect them to be a bit skeptical about joining the project. They were like, oh, I have to add something to my CV. So Sanskritam project is one. So I feel this is a blessing in disguise for a venture like this. So we had a wonderful cast as well. All of them have by hearted their Sanskrit dialogues. So generally, movies have this
Wow.
person who sits behind and prompts. So they had to say, Madhukarani api bhuyama namsi. Katham itaha api agachati. So these are all dialogues of Payal. So 271 dialogues I had to by heart of all of them to train them. So, so even in the
And
middle
we
of the
were
night from the
warned.
Tenali Rama
Yeah.
story, yeah,
We were
yeah,
warned that
Payal,
no prompting, no prompting. We are not going
yeah,
to help you with anything, you know. So we had to like actually by heart everything. By the end of the, you know, when we were shooting, you will not believe none of the actors had script, because we all, you know,
Wow.
actually by hearted everything. Okay, scene 2, let's go. Scene 26, let's go. We all were that
Lovely.
prepared, you know. So
Lovely. I
yes,
remember doing this for with Macbeth in my 11th and 12th, because ISC you had to learn Macbeth, because you had to
yeah,
know Macbeth by heart. तो रट्टा मारते
yeah.
थे. अब स्कूल में इतना रट्टा नहीं मारा होगा जितना इसमें मारा होगा.
My mom was like, इतनी पढ़ाई स्कूल में कर ली थी तो आज क्या होती है? We were like on and on.
you
No,
can give the Macbeth to us. We will translate that in Sanskrit and then use by heart.
no. I'd rather. No. I think the crease of our authors somewhere, and also perhaps the oldest language after Tamil
Yeah,
also
yeah.
work. So I'd rather focus on that. But tell me, what for you was the most standout moment, Payal, if I may ask you? Learn, you know, जो आप कभी नहीं भूलोगे, जो रट्टा मारना पड़ा ये नहीं भूलोगे, या कोई और मोमेंट है?
नहीं, मेरे लिए स्टैंड ऑफ मोमेंट तो यही था कि आई वाज प्लेइंग शकुंतला. You know, I can't express this because it was so beautiful for me to every day wake up and live that character, wear those costumes, and actually हमारा जो environment होता था, it used to be like, oh, हम उस जमाने में चले गए हैं, you know, we are in that century. So I used to actually feel that I'm sitting in that 4th 5th century, because all the props are so authentic, everything is so original. I used to feel that, okay, now, you know, and sometimes people have to tell me, okay, you're normal, okay, now you're it's a cut come out of the character, because I used to still be in the character, and I used to feel. So the best part for me, I mean, I'll always be happy about, I frame that, okay, I played Shakuntala, which was written by Kalidasa ji, and to be part of something with, to be a part of an idea to, of Dushyanth sir, to recreate something, to stick to the language. Like the heart of this movie is the language,
Yeah.
and his intention to make this movie was to promote this language and to have his own industry. Like we have Bollywood, we have Tollywood, Malayalam industry. So his intention, his first step towards, let's have a Sanskrit industry, which was, I thought, okay, let's just do it. And it
Yeah,
was
yeah,
just
you
a
have
good.
to glamorize Sanskrit a little because that's when
Yeah,
there will be an attraction to it,
yeah,
and you're trying to do it. But you've
yeah.
also used Tamil, you've used Telugu. I heard
Yeah.
some lines there, even in the trailer, some glimpses of
Did
some of
we?
the languages.
Yeah. Anand, see, with respect to the dialogues, we have stuck to Kalidasa's Shakuntalam. Of course, if he has
Yeah,
written 600, I may have kind of used only 200, because all of them need not have to come into the movie.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
95% of the dialogues that have been deployed in the movie is in Sanskritam, and
Hmm.
5% is in Prakritam, because he has used Prakrit dialogues as well.
Yeah.
Amma Guruna Machuya Jiya Siya Sannami Laddapayitto Padivaya Paramatto Baresi Apandita Attanam Ammanam. This is Prakritam. So
Prakritam.
when the little Bharata speaks, it's a colloquial Sanskrit. So
Hmm.
we've used Prakritam, and the subtitles are in English. But I thought, see, in a movie like this, where we celebrate one of the classical languages, it is also important to make the people of our country feel that this is not an exclusive movie for a certain set of people who know the language. So I thought of interspersing the other classical
Yeah.
languages like Tamil, which is my mother tongue, Telugu, which is a beautiful language, Malayalam, exquisite, and Kannada. And we've also used Avadhi, which is the earlier form of Hindi, so in Ramcharitmanas. So
Yeah.
we've deployed two lines. But again, see, when characters are speaking in Sanskritam, they cannot switch to Tamil. So what we have done is, wherever the situation demanded, we have deployed those two lines of each of the languages in the background. So
Hmm.
for that
It's like
situation,
part of
that
the background
emotion,
score.
exactly, background score. So two lines of Tirukkural in
Yeah.
Tamil. We have used two lines of Kshetraya's Shringara Padam of the 17th century there. Navvulavade. So that's the
Hmm.
line. And then we have deployed Malayalam two lines of Swati Tirunal, a Shringara Padam in the
Yeah.
background in Vishwamitra Menaka's scene. And we have introduced Yakshagana. See, while we focus on classical
Yeah. I
dance
saw
forms
that.
like Bharatanatyam, Odissi, folk dance forms should also get their due. And I belong to the state of Karnataka, so Yakshagana is very popular. So we have used Yakshagana in a scene where there is Hanuman who comes and hands over the Anguliyakam of Rama to
Yeah.
Sita. So at that point in time, the fisherman who spots the missing ring of Shakuntala hands it over to the superintendent. So we've kind of connected that ring, and those dialogues which happen in the Yakshagana, which the commoners see, is in Kannada. And
Hmm.
Avadhi, again, Tulsidas's Ramacharitamana. So two lines. So that may just be constitute, all these languages put together may constitute 3% of the movie. But we felt that is very important to show that, we say Vividhita me ekta. So this
Yeah.
Vividhita me ekta should be put on one platter, is what we thought.
True, it looks fantastic, and I believe you are subtitling the dialogue so those who do not understand Sanskrit but they can relate to the whole. But one request
Yeah.
is that after the movie is over, in the post roll, each of the locations that you have gone through, you should take a snapshot and say which is this location, where is it, and how we can get to it. Because that is
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
people would want to say. Because there are a lot of places everybody is going to look at and say, "Ye kahan pe hai? Where is this? I've seen this place. Where is this?" So
yeah.
it has to
Visualize.
stay back, and they have to go back there. Because
True.
you're wanting them to reorient themselves with the culture, and
True.
you're also opening yourself to a lot of criticism. My final question with the
Yeah.
Sanskrit, because not too many people speak it. Those who speak it are
Hmm.
very passionate about it.
Hmm.
You're also going to open yourself to global critique because
Yeah,
Sanskrit Vidwans are not limited only to our shores.
yeah.
True. True, very true, very true. So, see, there is always, you have been a veteran in this industry, you will know there is always a difference between getting critiqued and criticized. So, the latter is not something that concerns me. While it comes to the process of critiquing, where they look to the pros and cons of the movie and they look for areas of improvement, as a filmmaker, an amateur, a debut filmmaker, probably I would look into such critiquing very seriously and I would take those points into consideration. Nevertheless, I have consulted my own acharyas with respect to Sanskritam for this movie so that we are
Right.
as authentic as possible. And with respect to the locations or with respect to the language itself, Anand, I feel only when it is being critiqued, it will give us the hope that it is being considered as a mainstream cinema.
Yeah.
Because nobody should have a soft corner. अरे संस्कृत में किए हैं कुछ नहीं बोलना है उनको. That should not be the thought. See, it
Yeah.
should be considered a mainstream cinema because the music that we have used, the thought process that has gone is very much akin to a mainstream cinema.
Correct.
And with respect to the language itself, Anand, you were talking about, yes, people who speak Sanskritam may be very, very little in proportion or the percentage. Of course, all the names, of course, Anand, your name, your first name, your surname, my first name, surname, whom your hands can reach around in your studio, they will all have Sanskritam names.
Yeah.
And the
Correct.
Hindi that we speak will deploy all the root words when you get into the
Yeah.
Shabdakosh, it will all be Sanskritam based. And the places that we have, right from Prayagraj, Karnavati, everything is Sanskritam. So, yes, as a language, you or I may not be speaking in day in and day out.
But it is still
But
part of
as
us.
a language, the words have been used. It's a part of our everyday lives. And incidentally, even political figures who may oppose this language in certain parts of the country will themselves have Sanskritam names.
Correct.
So, Sanskrit as a
That
language is
is
not dead.
that is an irony that somebody the other day it was very funny that somebody who has his name from Lord Muruga was trying to justify that Muruga never existed or he was a mythical factor. So I said let us not get into it because that's where it is. But that's a different domain. This is a different domain. This is about trying
True,
to
true.
appreciate, understanding, and enjoying our culture. And I just hope there are more who
Absolutely.
say ये पिक्चर बना रहा है मैं इससे अच्छी पिक्चर बनाऊंगा संस्कृत में बनाऊंगा या बनाऊंगी.
Very true.
That's what we want. We want more people to do that.
Yeah.
Very
And
true.
while I hope this is not your first and last movie in Sanskrit, wish you many more, but in
Let me
Sanskrit.
tell you one thing. The Shakuntala being my first debut film, this is my debut interview. So isn't that wonderful?
So let's hope this is not the first and last movie. We see a
Yeah,
lot more of the two of you and
yeah.
doing a lot of fantastic work. I wish you all the very best. Wonderful speaking with the two of you. Thank you very, very
Thank you
much.
so much.
Wish you
Thank you
all
so
the
much,
very
Alan.
best.
Thank you so
Namaskar.
much.
Namaste.